Hey yo, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3 with Forrest Gump. Before starting our journey to Moran's Towers, I figured let's take a look around the map to see if we missed anything. And I did end up finding a spider cave under the well in the Blighted Village. It was not a pleasant experience, especially if you have arachnophobia. There is a pair of boots that help a lot in the cave called Spider Step Boots, which allow you to be immune to be webbed. Apparently it was given to this guy who was down in a cave studying the spiders. I'm not sure. And it was given to him by the Spider Queen herself or something like that. Regardless, with those boots, you will no longer be slowed by the webs. And also, I think walking on the webs with those shoes on will not attract spiders either. Mama says these are my magic shoes and they will take me anywhere. Well, anywhere inside the spider cave anyway. Also nearby, we will find another journal mentioning a key gem and a cellar. And something to do with the Dark Justiciars and Zulks or something like that. Not entirely sure who the Zulks are, but we need to find the key gem and the cellar. The phase spiders are just dicks. They're horrible. Not only do they phase all over the place, they also poison. And be prepared for a long slog on those ones. The regular phase spiders aren't so bad since they only have 24 HP, but there are a lot of them. And the phase spider matriarch, however, is a whole different kind of arachnid. Not only does she have 115 HP, she is also able to spawn more, albeit smaller, phase spiders from spider sacks. It'll be easier to kill them as soon as they spawn, as they will be grouped together and will have low HP. So something like a shatter or one of those alchemist fire or bombs will do it. They only have 6 HP, so most likely they'll burn to death, which is the death they deserve. Here's my tactics against the Spider Matriarch. Line her up against the chasm, lure her in, line her up, and push her off with the Thunder Wave from Gale. Now risky, I know, it takes a few tries, as the Matriarch seems to be quite resistant to pushback. I mean, with 8 legs on the ground, she does have very good traction. Mama always said, if you at first you don't succeed, F5 and F8 until you do. Once the matriarch is in the bottom of the chasm, or taken care of through the method of your choosing and you're thoroughly grossed out by the spiders, proceed downstairs to grab the dark amethyst, which is the key gem that was mentioned in the journal. We will need this gem later. Now once we realize there's nothing else of value in the cave, we can move on. The cellar is conveniently located behind a bar inside a house in the Blighted Village. I mean, where else would you expect to find a cellar? After taking everything that is not bolted down to the floor, we notice a hidden lever behind some boxes. Once you pull the lever, a bookshelf will slide over to reveal a hidden entrance. Once we make our way through the hidden door behind the bookshelf by pulling the hidden lever behind the empty boxes, do not click on the coffins as much as it is tempting to do so. There is no loot inside, only pain and suffering you will find. And skeleton enemies as well, and skeleton, lots of fun. Just resist the urge. Now I believe the true dark urge of this game is the urge to loot everything. Mama always said, just because you can click on something doesn't mean you should. After resisting the darkest of urges to loot coffins, we find a mirror on the wall. And because we didn't loot any of the coffins, right, we can actually stand to look at ourselves in the mirror. And just like one of those smart mirrors that you can talk to and they talk back, this mirror too talks back to us, asking questions about this guy, Zazam Tam.
Remember stories of Zaz Tam, a powerful lich in Thay who made deals with dark gods.
Not as nice as Tim Tams, as Zazam is a lich who made deals with the dark gods. The only type of dark gods we like is the ones who are in possession of dark chocolate. By the way, dark chocolate Tim Tams are fantastic. After answering a few questions in a distinctly un-Forrest Gumpy way, we made our way inside what seems like a laboratory. I'm sorry, I know, I have to know, I just have to know what is hidden inside. It is the dark urge taking over.
Be cautious.
Inside the lab, you will find a book locked behind a gate flanked by traps. Make sure to disable those traps, or not, I can't tell you what to do.
You try to examine the book, but the longer you stare, the more those piercing amethyst eyes draw you in.
curious. Why don't you take a closer look? I'll observe from back here.
Remember the dark amethyst that we picked up in the spider cave? We can shove that right in the mouth of the book, which will trigger the book to open.
The book's pull is irresistible. You feel changed, bettered for having opened it.
Again, giving into my dark urges, I played a very Forrest Gumpy, exploring what the book has to say until my dice rolls caught up with me, forcing the book to close. And apparently, Forrest has seen some really dark stuff, which may come to haunt us later. Mom always said, life is like a box of chocolate, you never know what you're gonna get. And let's hope what we learn from that evil book doesn't come back and haunt us too much.
The book snaps closed. You've seen too much. What profane knowledge is now seared inside of you you should never have known.
Naturally, after spending all day in a spider cave, pushing large spiders off cliffs, and reading meat-covered books with giant mouths that take dark amethyst to open, Forrest Gump is exhausted. And while sleeping, we got another visit from Jenny. It's always nice to see Jenny, of course, and she tells us our parasite is special, we're special. Instead of turning us into calamari right away, the parasite becomes like a walkie-talkie or WhatsApp of the day, so everybody in the club can talk to each other and talk about how great the absolute is. You know, all positives, no negatives at all. Maybe like a parasite smartphone?
Just like you, I was infected with a mind flayer parasite. Just like you, I seek to be free of it.
There's a sense of something much bigger going on, and she is not telling us everything she knows. But she basically says, go to Moonrise Towers, figure out who's controlling the parasite, find out what's going on.
Magic, destroy it. Go. Our freedom depends on it.
So we run into this mansion that is set on fire while on our way to meet up with the Githyanki patrol. We will learn later on this is Duke Ravengard's house and something to do with the cultists from Moonrise Tower, but we'll find out a little bit more about it later. With impressive leg strength, Forrest Gump has no issue kicking down the door. But before going inside, I would recommend taking a fire-resistant potion or lots of health potions, you know. You will be set on fire a lot and you will be blinded by the fire, and there's some electricity or something going on inside as well, so generally not a pleasant experience going into a house on fire. Who knew? Now, taking the fire-resistant potion helps a lot. Mom always said you can tell a lot about a person by their shoes, and if their shoes are on fire, they probably are too. There's a person trapped under a wooden beam upstairs inside the exploded room. After rescuing him, he gives a sob story about his partner or girlfriend or whatever had an argument with him about the dowry, and then she ran outside or something and is not dead because the cultists killed her or something like that.
I was in our room. We had a fight.
If you head around the back of the mansion and go inside what looks like a stable, you will find a large bale of hay. Now, I was hoping just to find a needle inside, but with good perception, you will find instead a chest which contains the dowry our poor trapped friend was fighting with his girlfriend about. Returning the ring to him, we'll get this.
I know this doesn't change anything, but it helps. Thank you.
Of course, we're not here for the reward. Forrest Gump always helps, reward or not. However, maybe a piece of advice for our friend over there. Mom always said, you've got to put the past behind you before you can move on. Heading downstairs, we will find Counselor Floric, who will regale us with what happened and encourages us to go find Duke Ravengard, who happened to be taken by the cultists and is conveniently taken to where we're headed anyway, Moonrise Towers.
Now listen close, Fist.
We'll just go there and ask them nicely to return Ravengard to us. I'm sure it'll be just fine. I'm pretty sure nothing will go wrong. We will also find out later that Duke Ravengard is Will's father, as if we needed more reasons to find the man.
Thank you. And should your courage falter, remember the Duke's generosity.
Of course, Forrest Gump would never do it for the money, obviously, but you and I, though, wouldn't mind the extra generosity, of course. Remember the poor sobs that we rescued from the cave that was gonna be overrun by the gnolls? Their hideout is nearby. We should really pay them a visit and reinforce our friendship.
You revealed our location.
While we're here, we
That's all
find
that's
this
any
guy
use of
Oscar
Ruben. I'll cut
Febres,
it out.
who is an artist captured by Rugen and the gang. Forrest Gump always helps, of course, remembering Mama's teaching. We paid him 1,000 gold to rescue the artist.
Well, you should at least know what you've paid for. I am the Oscar Fevras, at your service.
We then find out maybe the artist is some important character?
You recall a recent scandal. A patriarch of Baldur's Gate who wished to marry a commoner.
We'll see if that pans out for us later.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Say, you
And another 200 gold for the road, why not? I mean, have you seen the Airbnb prices recently?
a hero to the hilt. Seek me
Mama
out.
always said there's only so much money a man needs,
Beneath
the
my
rest is
brush,
just for
you'll
show.
live forever.
Or for the artist.
Until Baldur's Gate, then.
After about 1600 words, we're finally coming to meet up with the Githyanki patrol, which was, I believe, the original goal of this video. The Githyanki give no shit about Lizelle and is only looking for the artifact, which they believe is a powerful weapon they can use against the Calamari.
A Gake vessel has fallen from the sky, Lae'zel. Thieves aboard have taken a weapon most precious.
It is polyhedric in shape and inscribed with the sacred runes of our people.
You suddenly feel a strange anxiety take hold. Not your own, but that of the artifact you carry. Somehow, it's afraid. You attune your mind to it. The artifact does not want to part from you. It does not want to fall into the Gith Raiders' hands.
Take word to your
However,
crush.
things may not be
You are to
alright
join our
with
search.
Voss, whom we saw through the
Speak
telescope
up,
a couple
child.
episodes back.
Firm your mouth.
There's something fishy going on, but I'm not sure what it is just yet.
Continues.
A current of deception carries Voss's words. Wherever he flies, it is not to Vlaakith.
The problem is, though, Githyanki, like their whole demeanor suggests, fights really well. And I could not beat them or trick them into thinking we're with them. So we're gonna have to come back to it later. I was hoping for a peaceful solution as Forrest Gump would have managed, but even Gump had fired his weapon during the Vietnam War. We'll definitely come back after we're higher level and see what is going on with the Githyanki patrol. There's definitely something fishy going on, and something is not on the up and up. Like Forrest Gump himself has said, I'm not a smart man, but I definitely know when to run away and come back later.
It would be too much to hope that's nothing to do with us, wouldn't it?
And on that bombshell, thank you so much for watching this playthrough out of all the other Baldur's Gate 3 playthroughs on the internet. And see you guys next time. Bye!